Many Americans look down upon illegal immigrants living in the United States, but for those who have been there, they see the situation with different eyes.
I have lived in Central America, and I know that it is really hard. So even though the quality of life for an illegal immigrant in the United States is very low, it is a lot higher than what you can get in Central America if you don't have the means to progress.
People judge them because they haven't been in their shoes. They don't know what it is to not have food on the table, not being able to buy a pair of shoes for their kids. And so people come here because they have a need, and that's the only way that they think they can solve it.
Getting here is one of the big dreams. It's like a part of that they call the American dreams. Not only get a house or get a, convenient stuff, but it's having at least what to eat and money, like that can support your family for the basic needs.
Yeremy Turcios came from El Salvador 2 years ago to study information systems at BYU. He has high hopes of becoming a citizen after graduation.
I am planning on becoming a citizen of the United States. I want to start my career. I want to join the corporate world.
Fernando Castro also came from El Salvador in 1995. It took him 12 years to become a citizen only after marrying an American woman.
I worked for a few years, at McDonald's and in the fields, and then I decided to go on a mission. I went to Washington, D.C. After I got back from my mission, I came to Utah because I wanted to go to school. So I started going to school. I went to UVSC at the time, and then I transferred to BYU where
Eliana Puertas came here from Peru in her 20s with her husband and first child.
And I call like a blessing for my family and also my husband too. So we applied for that law, and then after almost 2 years process, for us it was like a long term, but after 2-year process we got the permanent resident.
Even though all three are now in the country legally, all three feel many still treat them as if they were illegal.
Every time that I meet someone new, I have to let them know that I'm different, that I am a hard worker, that I am studious, that I am smart, that I'm capable of doing things. But that is something that I have to let people know that.
There's a lot of good people, but there's also people that they still treat you like you're not from here. And it's normal because you have an accent, because you have different culture. You're a different person, but most people are really, really nice. Mm-hmm.
So when people, they ask me something and I into in a conversation, I say, oh yeah, because I talk about this in my class at BYU. Oh, so are you a BYU student? How come? It's like, oh, come on. It's not possible that I can be a BYU student. So when I go around on the city, people look at me and treat me like a Latin illegal. Sometimes when I have something that I need in the store or something like, we don't know, or the treatment you can see.
But when asked if they feel a connection or disconnection to illegal immigrants, their answers varied.
Personally, it's something that I will never do, just because I don't think I would like to be. I want to be able to have the freedoms all the freedoms that I can get as an illegal immigrant. I cannot do that. So it's something that I will never encourage anybody to do, because I have this strong belief that if you come to the United States, you have to obey by the law, and you have to. Also, I think you should try to adopt the culture, and try to learn things about the culture, about the people, and try to help your community.
I feel connected to them. I feel their pain. I know how hard it is to to feel like, oh, maybe I can get deported and be separated from my family, from my kids. A bunch of families are being separated because of, the kids were born here, they're citizens, but their parents, they're not, so they have to go back to their countries.
I totally agree that we need to follow the rules and respect the laws, but what about the feelings? How many families you are separating because of deportations? How many kids they need to go back at their own country when they don't even speak very well, sometimes they Spanish. If it's this country, celebrate every year Freedom Day, Martin Luther King. Why we can't forget, just remember that day. Why we cannot remember what happened with Martin Luther King every day, 365 days in the year. This is a free country. But sometimes the people, it doesn't let us be free.
From someone who has high hope for himself,
I think they still, if they can be smart, they can educate themselves, and they can find their way out of poverty. And I know people that have been here illegally, right? And because they went to school and they started working, somehow they found a way to become residents or citizens.
and from someone who has walked in their shoes.
My advice is to keep working, pay their taxes and have patience. You never know what's going to happen. It's all politics, so just to be patient.
I probably suggest that find a law that we can support, especially those students, these young people that they grow up in here, and they can stay together as a family, and they can have the goals, and they can achieve their dreams and their goals, that they can work together for a better country here and a better life.
Laws must be obeyed, and the rules must be followed, but some immigrants ask that you take a step back and see things through their eyes. Lauren Frankum, Immigration Nation.